Hello, Zero Trigger here, and today I have for you Fault Milestone One. I don't know a whole lot about Fault other than it's a fantasy series. It's more of a linear story, and I've seen mixed reviews on it. Let's go ahead and check it out. We're going to start here with the prologue. See how that is. Does it hurt? A lot? Asked the boy, his eyes clouded with concern. No, the girl answered, softly, her gaze shifting from the night sky above to the boy cradled in her arm below. Ha 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 ha, you're a terrible liar, retorted the boy. Really? Not even going to let me finish reading this? Well, I recommend pausing this video in order to read this yourself. This is going pretty fast here. I'm a slow reader, so can't really keep up with this. I'm hoping after we actually get started it's also not like this. The world will understand someday. Yeah, that's about the majority of what I was able to catch in there. I'm going to have to go through and reread this myself in order to actually understand everything that was written there. But let's go ahead and get started with the actual game itself. In a time of yore, humankind had discovered mana, a naturally occurring energy source that... And of course, they're not even going to let me read this either. So far, starting out a bit rocky here. Okay, I've already caught that this is going to use some of those big, fancy fantasy words that are almost impossible to pronounce. So, bear with me on some of that. If you're able to give me a better translation of what's being said, please do. Sorry, I'm being a terrible commentator right now. I'm trying to halfway read this, but I'm faster reading it in my head than I am out loud. And I'm still not catching all of it. Okay, here we go. This I can actually keep up with. The Rughzenhaide Castle, passageway to the Sky Terrace. Sparks continued to dance through the air as a small silhouette ascended the spiral staircase. First, to the Sky Terrace. I don't know, the way she looks, she kind of reminds me a bit of Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Already, first impression of girl. What a name that is. I'm already thinking she's a tsundere. I don't know, give her a couple more. See if she can redeem herself here. Right at the very front line of the assault, reaching the Sky Terrace on the roof of the castle, was a young girl, no more than 12 or 13 years of age. Of course. 12, 13. Why do characters always have to be so young in this? Can we get someone closer to like maybe their 20s? Because apparently only kids are capable of doing anything. Alright, moving on. She quickly scans her surrounding and gets into a defensive pose. Is she expecting a fight or something? I don't know. Am I gonna actually have to fight in this? I hope not. It's a visual novel, not a game. Holding her breath, she surveys the area for a while. According to her prior intelligence, the Sky Terrace was completely deserted. Except for one. Because there is always one. Can she say something? Please. Some form of dialogue. Path down successor to the country of Rughzenhaide, Selphine Rughzenhaide. Alright. I need to give her a bit more character. Since I'm already assuming she's a tsundere, let's go ahead and add Baka to the end of every statement she says. Because we can always use some more Baka. Show yourself. You know there's nowhere for you to hide now, Baka! The girl's shout reverberated throughout the empty terrace. There was no one around, but she maintained her guard. There were the actions of someone who's done it a countless number of times. At 12 or 13, she has been in combat numerous times. The cringe is real right now. She moved towards the center of the Sky Terrace, her efficient, almost mechanical movements betraying her appearance of having a dainty petite figure. Well, they got that part right. She's looking pretty flat there. Is there really no one here? Baka. Maybe the intel was wrong. Baka. Sion, can you hear me? Baka. Okay, who's the Sion? And are we ever gonna get a name for this girl? Or is her name just Girl? Please. Give us a name. Baka. Sion, if you can hear me, respond. Baka. Shh. In the middle of a fight, Baka? No one's here. Baka. The girl lets her guard down and takes a deep, long breath. Farther in the terrace was a balcony that also functioned as a viewing deck of sorts. It was designed to overlook the town around the castle, and there was a large wooden dining table situated in the middle of it. The table was furnished with an ornately woven tablecloth. It was surrounded with heavy, solid wooden chairs. Atop it were numerous, intricately made ornaments. The table and all of its amenities were works of art. You're in a castle? Of course. Every object from the dining table to the Sky Terrace strategically placed throughout the Sky Terrace screamed of wealth. You're in the keep of a castle. This is made for, like, nobility or royalty. Of course, in a very intricate, ornate... Baka. Something crossed the girl's mind, and she sets the chair at the head of the table upright and sits her small frame into it. For a moment she's taken aback by it all. It's truly a height of luxury. The impressive scenery from the head of the table is something she couldn't even imagine seeing, having grown up in such meager circumstances. Assuming that's still her, so Baka. Slam. Slam. What just happened? In a display of terrible manners, she rests both her feet on the table and reclines against the chair, slowly closing her eyes. You're gonna take a nap in the middle of a battle? Someone's a bit cocky. She couldn't help but laugh at the disparity between the situation and place she had grown up in. Okay, I'm guessing she's just street rat. Whose seat was this? Under the lucky star would you have to be born under this to be granted the privilege to seat yourself on a chair like this? Someone of high class? Well, not that it mattered. This chair was no one's, just like how this crumbling castle was to be no one's as well. I'm sure it'd feel wonderful if I could have a meal on a table like this. Baka. From the balcony created to look upon the town below, the girl's gazes at the townscape set ablaze. Yes, because this is an everyday occurrence that you can just oversee the entire town burning. Sounds like last Tuesday. The perfect view, just perfect. Someone has a bit of a pyromania side, enjoying a town on fire. Heh. This is just stupid. Baka. After her rather mindless soliloquy, she gets up off her seat, then... Ah! Girl 2? Are we gonna get named yet? Girl 2. Another girl appeared from the door that she had broken through just earlier. Okay, is this an ally, enemy? What's going on here? Miss Marie-Chelle Baka. The girl addressed as Marie-Chelle waved her hand in a yo pose as if she was joking. Coco, you like chair, sitting? The same girl posed a question to her partner in rather broken speech. Oh, she's gonna be one of those that be like, me Marie, me smash. No, not really. Baka. As always, she doesn't have a shred of tension in her. So Coco thought, keeping it to herself. Marie-Chelle. In terms of age, she and Coco were not far apart. Of course. Another child in the midst of war. It's probably one of the biggest tropes in anime I've never been fond of. In contrast to Coco's rather belligerent look, she looked to be a sweet little girl who had no place in a miserable battlefield like this. I don't know. Kind of reminds me a bit more of like one of those battle lollies that can just beat the living daylights out of everything. She's probably the tank of the group. However, a great many have been deceived by her innocent looks. Their blood that now stained her dress certainly stood out. Oh god. Okay, so that's someone you don't want to mess with. I'm surprised you can just waltz around like that with all this going on. Baka. An imaginary question mark appears atop Marie-Chelle. I don't see no question mark. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, moving on. She didn't understand why Coco was so astonished. No reason to rush. Learn to speak proper English, please. Of course you'd rush. Just walking around with all this going on is weird. The castle was filled with the smell of blood and smoke. Ah, the homicidal urges are growing. Screams and explosions continue to roar throughout. Despite the cacophony going on all around them, Marie-Chelle simply stood there, oblivious to it all. So this is just another Tuesday night for her. Already, almost done. No point running. Well, that's true, but Baka. Coco was at a loss for words when faced with that simple retort. She not here? No, she's not. Can we even rely on Sion's info? Baka. Sion, reliable. Do you mean orders? Baka. Orders. Unflinching. Rather than communicating with words, she struck the same hand-waving pose from earlier. That was one of Marie-Chelle's ways of expressing herself. Still, if they aren't here, where could they be? I'm pretty sure we've searched everywhere. Baka. Plan B? Because Plan B is always better than Plan A. And Plan C is usually just fuck it and improvise. A manual search? What a pain. Baka. The sheer size of this place makes my head spin. Baka! Heh, funny face. Oh, leave me alone. Baka! Fine, plan B then. Let's stick to the plan and take one wing each. I'll be on the east wing. Baka! Nod. What's wrong? Baka! We look, yes? That's what she just said. Won't it spell shadow soldiers? I'll be fine. There's only 150 of them. Only 150? We've already taken care of most of the rear line soldiers, so I doubt we'll run into anyone troublesome. Only 150 soldiers? 'Cause that's a walk in the park, people. They need to at least have 1,000 to have some kind of threat here. Oh wait, they're in the center of the keep. That's where the elite guard are. So one soldier here is probably worth 150 other soldiers. What is it, Baka? Overconfidence, your weakness. Yeah, she's very overconfident. Her voice was soft, but her words carried weight. Everything going too well. Won't forget that. Won't? Don't you mean don't? Alright, Marie. I know you're like probably 13 or so. I know a lot of 13-year-olds that can speak better than this. I won't. Baka! Coco unconsciously stands at attention. Nothing wrong in being careful. That's all. That was scary. She suddenly flips into serious mode and all. Baka! Other people probably wouldn't understand the sudden change of Marie Shell's attitude. Putting thoughts and emotions into words is a weak point of hers. Logical, seeing that she only just recently begun remembering her vocabulary. Okay, so she's just recently relearning how to speak. Okay, I guess I can give her a pass on her terrible speaking now that I've learned that she's just learning how to re-speak English. However, even though her vocabulary is lacking, she is in no way unintelligent nor unable to grasp the situation at hand. Coco, being her partner, understood this very well. Well, typically, you don't even need to say a whole lot of words if it's someone you're very familiar with. You can usually predict what they're going to do in advance, or even grasp what they're trying to say. So I guess this makes sense on how all this is able to work. Sion. Finally we get to learn who the Sion is. Hello? Hello? Coco, can you hear me? Ah, Sion. Yeah, I hear you. How's it going there? You done fighting? Baka? The third floor downwards has all been committed. As long as people don't suddenly start raining down from the sky, no one else should be able to get into the castle. I don't know, it's a fantasy setting, nothing would surprise me at this point. Oh, and get a load of this. Really? The last two guys I just killed, they were such pushovers. It kind of ruined the moment. Someone enjoys fighting. Like I get more of a thrill from dreaming in an afternoon nap. Wow, someone likes fighting way too much. Coming from someone who personally said she'd just keep guard, Baka. Can't really complain if you don't volunteer to head up to the front lines instead, Baka. So, how are things going on your end? Ignoring me, eh? Oh right, this place is totally empty. You've got some explaining to do here, Baka. You sure the princess is in the sky terrace, Baka? Absolutely. If she isn't around the balcony, then she's got to be somewhere on the top floor. Look harder, why don't you? Looking around is such a huge pain. It's so tiring. Baka, getting lazy now, are we? Coco's getting lazy. You sure are lazy for someone so young. No, that sounds about right. Just sit there, lounge in a chair, playing on her iPad, if they even exist in this. I don't want to hear that from someone who volunteered to shore up our defense. That's actually a very vital role. If you don't have someone to watch a rear, you can get outflanked and easily outnumbered and just lose the battle in general. Oh, quit complaining and just get to looking. We're already on the home stretch. Get off my back, Baka. Really though, this whole thing sure was a breeze, eh? The Rughzenhaide, the center of the allegiance and all, is it supposed to fall quickly? This easily? The center of the alliance, it should have the highest defenses. It shouldn't have fallen this easy. But at the same time, I imagine a lot of people would probably try to attack it. So it might have had its numbers thinned over time? I don't know. Well, Miss Milano's planned it out this much, and she's even taken part in it too. Well, let's be honest here. It's probably mostly because of the latter than anything else. What? You mean all could have gotten this far without the help of the shadow soldiers, Baka? No, that's not it. Considering Miss Milano, I bet she could probably take down an entire country or two. Damn! That's someone I don't want to mess with. If I had to describe her with a single word, it'd be cheater. I have another word that might also work. Beater. I'm cringing at my own self here. Please forgive me, everyone. You've got a point, Baka. Anyway, I'll get back to committing the entire castle's interior. Good luck with the search. Yeah, see you, Baka. Between Miss Marichelle and Sian, why isn't there anyone who's feeling any more tense than I am, Baka? And now, I've totally lost my drive too, Baka. And she just finished her call. Alright you guys, I'm gonna have to end this video here. We'll pick this up later. Due to time's sake, I'm gonna call it here. This is Zero Trigger here. See you next time.